Hi everybody, this is Nancy from NatureWorks, and I'm here today to give you a mini design lesson on how to analyze your garden, look at it for color in the fall, and then beef up the color so it looks really good this year and amazing next year. In the email, I talk all the time about analyzing your succession of bloom, and that's what you want to do. I pulled some plants here from our benches that are finished flowering. This is curbstone. I haven't deadheaded it yet, but as you can see, it's done. Echinacea's done. Phlox is done. St. John's wort is done. So everything that you see here, with one exception, has finished blooming. They're all amazing plants. July blooming Allium millennium. August and September blooming Helenium. Summer blooming yarrow, spring blooming Jacob's ladder. I am sure you could walk through your gardens and find probably more spring and early summer bloomers than you can fall bloomers. But when you look at this now, you can be a lot more colorful in October and even November if you pay attention. This is Sanguisorba canadensis, a fabulous underrated native. This is actually on its second and a half month of bloom. So this will continue, you can see the buds, for quite a while. So that's been going for a long time, but everything else I do not think I'll see any more flowers on. So here is a palette of plants that I selected that can up the color in this garden. There's certain classic categories. The first are asters. This is Aster Lady in Black, Lateriflorus Lady in Black, or Calico Aster. It is one of the most visited asters by pollinators in the fall. It also has purple stems, burgundy leaves in the spring, but it's green all summer. So if I was to add this in, I might place it here because it picks up the white of the Sanguisorba. This phlox is going to be a coral color. It's going to be a lot taller than it looks in the pot. So that would give us a nice combination. This is Aster Purple Dome. This is a New England aster that's been selected for its compact habit. New England asters are September bloomers going into early October but finishing up. If you walk throughout the NatureWorks gardens, or if you saw my garden, you'd see my New England asters, they've got about 5 days left. So, because we're doing this in the middle of October. So they're almost done. However, they're an amazing September, early October bloomer. And because they're dwarfed, they can be placed in the foreground of the garden. And where this has no color at all, we can add them there as either a clump, a giant mass, or we could dot them about in two places so that we have purple in two places. Now, this is something that you really have to come to NatureWorks to see. These are our native aromatic asters, Aster oblongifolius. They are not eaten by deer. They're bulletproof. One pinch in June makes them full of flowers. These don't look like much now, but believe me, they are incredible in the garden. This is October Skies. This starts in early October and goes throughout the month of October. And it gets big and it gets bushy, and it's an incredible plant. This is Raiden's favorite, and interestingly enough, I have noticed that Raiden's favorite starts to bloom later in October and goes into November. Here you can see the very first of the flowers. So we're talking November here, people, okay? So we might add Raiden's favorite to this side, next to this Hypericum, to give us color at the very end of the season. So that sort of shows you that within the aster world, you can actually have succession of bloom through September, October, and November. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, but it gets you thinking. The next major category of late season bloomers are our beloved perennial mums. Now, this is Bolero, and Bolero has been blooming since September. So Bolero is one of our first perennial mums to flower. As is this amazing plant. This is white bomb ground cover mum. It hugs the ground. So because this selenium is a reddish orange color, but it's a daisy, I'm going to put bolero over here. And because white bomb is a ground cover that stays really low, I'm going to put white bomb over here. So now we have a Jacob's ladder, which may not look like much in your garden, but we've got white bomb mum as a ground cover that's going to bind the edges. Now, in the mums, there's also succession of bloom. We talked about bolero, we talked about white bomb. So this is one that Diane found in her garden. It's called Purple Halo. Purple Halo? Is that what you named it?
Actually, yeah.
Purple Halo. This is starting now everywhere, in the garden and here on our benches. So middle of October, Purple Halo kicks into bloom. It's a beautiful color, and it's been pinched, but it probably is a little taller than you would think of for mums. These perennial mums have height. So we'll add that one here. This one, look at the buds on this. They're not even showing any color. This is Will's Wonderful. Will's Wonderful doesn't start till the end of October and goes well into November. It's one of the very last mums I pick for arrangements. So Will's Wonderful is going to be added over here. Again, you're like, it's green. That's good, because you're going to have color later. And then this is My Kyo. My Kyo is just starting now. My Kyo starts in October, mid-October, and goes till mid-November. This is a very compact, almost dwarf form. We also have a variety called Bronze Elegans, which is the same thing in orange. One of the last to grow and one of the hardiest. So My Kyo can go in here. So you can see that even though I'm telling you I'm beefing up your color for fall, some of the stuff I'm giving you isn't going to bloom till a little bit later. Here's another category of late bloomers. This is Anemone Honorine Gilbert. This is a Japanese anemone that has been blooming since the beginning of September in our gardens and is still in full bloom. This is a magnificent perennial, and it spreads. This is a orange rose called Westerland, so I think that's going to look really nice, because that rose is pretty much done. Most of my roses are finished. Another category for fall are perennial sunflowers, and most of our perennial sunflowers in the fall are very tall. This is our willow leaf perennial sunflower, or rosemary leaf perennial sunflower. You can see by the leaves it looks a little bit like rosemary. This is Helianthus autumn gold, 24 inches tall maximum. So this could probably sneak in right here.
Nice.
Another category for fall are the very latest of the black-eyed Susans. Now all my Rudbeckia, Goldsturm, and all my others are done, but this one keeps going, and this can take a fair amount of shade. This has a really weird name, Rudbeckia fulgida. I'm like, really? That's it? But it has shiny leaves and lots of little flowers. So this could go on this side of the garden to give color later. This is a Montauk daisy. This is a Nipponanthemum. Look at the bees. Hi, everybody. This is a big bush. This gets a lot of foliage throughout the summer with 2 pinches, once in the spring and once in June. But it's a very, very late bloomer and a very bold plant. So this one I may put back here to just let it give foliage structure later. Finally, there are plants that you put in for fall that have great fall foliage. And the top fall foliage perennial has got to be Amsonia. And we've been talking about this in our emails, but you've got to see them in person. This one has won my heart. This is Amsonia Starstruck. It has blue flowers in June, but look at it now. And this is Amsonia hubrectii, which is a petting zoo plant, which we love. And you think, well, where could I use a little of this color? Well, how about right here? And then maybe we could put this one by the Westerland Rose. Now this is a little more full than you probably would do it in real life, but this is just to give you the idea. And if you still have any room and you've got a hole in your garden, grab a bushel basket planter or a container with lovely fall flowers, drop down, take some pumpkins, and do a little pumpkinscaping. And that, my friends, is how you make a fall garden beautiful. And if you do this year, next year you won't believe it. I will also tell you that when I plant now, every single plant I put in, I put one of these in. Because if you put in a plant that blooms in the fall, a lot of times you don't see sprouts from them early in the spring, and you'll forget what you did. And a lot of the labels that are on these plants aren't even stick in the ground labels, they're attached to the pots. So we sell a waterproof pen and a metal label, and if you get into a habit of labeling what you're planting, especially your late bloomers, you'll be able to read your garden in the spring. So this is Nancy from Nature Works saying, see you at the garden center. Bye-bye.